vlog! Hi everybody, this is Yuena, and welcome back to another episode of Quarantine Time with Yuena. And welcome to day 18 of my self-quarantine. As of today, we have over 1 million confirmed cases worldwide. In New York State alone, which is where I am right now, we have more cases than any country with active cases. Our president just announced that the quarantine was going to be extended for a whole nother 30 days. I get it, it's necessary, but I feel like the uncertainty just grew way up, and it hit me so hard. I did like a full hour of ugly crying just because little things are starting to get to us. The anxiety level, the uncertainty, the feeling of feeling out of control of what we can control. We'll let this car pass by. Maybe I should just do it with him. Today we're gonna talk about 10 ways on how to not go crazy during this quarantine. These tips are coming from someone that literally lives 2 blocks away from the hardest hit hospital of the hardest hit borough of the hardest hit city of the hardest hit state of the hardest hit country in the entire world. That should really be my title, is Quarantine Time from that. Number 1 is stop watching the news. This is something that we definitely need to be updated on a daily basis. I feel like it's just not good for your mental well-being. You know, this is also me talking to myself. I've realized probably watching the news is definitely also affecting how I feel and why I'm so freakishly empathetic for the entire world that I should actually just stop watching the news. So that's kind of what I've been doing, except for Governor Cuomo, because he's the only person that kind of somehow reassures me in a weird way. I mean, I listen to him rather than the president of the United States right now, just because he actually states more facts rather than theories or opinions, whereas the president just word vomits things. Discipline yourself and only look for updates on like the important stuff. I mean, this is all very important, but more so that you don't drive yourself crazy, because right now there's a lot more bad news that's going to be happening, more so than good news. So let's just focus on the positives as much as we can. Number 2, if you're gonna be working from home, one of the best suggestions I have for you is designate one part of your house or your apartment to just working from home. That way you associate that part with work. Then when you leave into a different side of your house, then you can be off of work. The goal of all my tips is to help with productivity. So as much as you can, try to separate work from home, even though you're at home. 2020 life struggles. Number 3, dress up while you're going to work. As weird as it may sound, it might actually trick your mind that you have to be more productive now. When you do change into your work outfit, it doesn't have to be, you know, like a business shirt and a business pants, but maybe like more comfortable stuff while you're just not sitting in PJs all day. So it's like a different set of PJs, like work PJs. Isn't that technically like a dream of yours, to always just go to work in whatever comfortable clothes you want to wear? Now it's happening. Maybe have 2 sets of PJs, one in the AM and one in the PM. Problem solved. Number 4, whether you are working or you're not working, it is always a good idea to work your body out. Says the person who doesn't work out. Right now, because everyone's quarantined, there are so many trainers that are doing how to work out at home videos, whether it's on their Instagram or on their YouTube or on Facebook. And if working out isn't for you, maybe try yoga. But whatever you do, have that blood in your body keep pumping. Number 5 is meditate. Although I have not tried it myself yet, I hear a lot of good things about it. I just haven't had the time. But there's so many different apps to kind of guide you through it right here. Especially if you have very high anxiety with everything that's going on right now, I'd highly suggest for you guys to check out meditating, because it'll definitely help calm your nerves, which is something I should definitely do. Number 6 is call up your friends. Even though we know what the government means when they say social distance, I actually think they mean physical distance away from other people, because social distance, I'm actually thinking I shouldn't talk to anybody. I should just go into a shell and hover into like my little fort and not socialize with anybody. Don't stop yourself from checking up on your friends, calling your friends, chatting with your friends, hanging out with your friends online. And if you don't have any friends, now's the time to make some friends, because we have plenty of time. Number Number 7, clean or fix up your house. I feel like in a weird way, we always take our home for granted. I mean, we just feel like it's always going to be there. So it's kind of the last of our priorities. Clean up your house if this is something that you've been meaning to do for a while. No time like the present because all we have is time. For example, last week I started this adventure. Basically everything in this room is now painted white. It's just something that I've been wanting to fix up. If you're ever like, oh, I've been meaning to repaint this wall this color, now's the time. I've been meaning to fix up the stove, now's the time. If you do have the luxury of an actual house, maybe plant some plants into the backyard. I feel like nature definitely needs some love right now. So do the rest of us. Number 8 is Marie Kondo your house. Marie Kondo is basically getting rid of things that no longer brings you joy. One of the first things I did when the quarantine was first announced was organizing my closet, going through clothes that I would probably never wear again, getting rid of things that don't bring me joy, and just being able to clean up around the house so that way it's not a cluster of things around the house that you have to look at. Now is the best time to get these things done. Yeah. Number 9, with everything that's going on right now, maybe you can see it as like a great opportunity for me to start my own business or start an app that I've always wanted to make. The pandemic is giving you time and opportunity to focus on what you truly always wanted to do. I'm not saying that this is nice at all, but it's kind of like a pause to actually do what you've always wanted to do. If nothing else inspired you, the least you can do is volunteer your time, whether it's helping to make masks or helping out the hospitals. Like recently in New York State, they built a medical relief center with hospital beds in the middle of Central Park. And a lot of volunteers actually came out to help build up tents and put things together. So if you can't think of anything else, I'm sure the world needs you in one way or another. Number 10. This was my number 1, but then I decided to save the best for last, which is have a schedule and plan. Don't just have every single day of your life be like a question mark, because that is kind of what's going on already with the virus. Have some control over your life by scheduling out your days. Trust me, when you feel like you accomplished something, you're gonna feel good about yourself, even during a pandemic. Sorry. I also asked a couple of my friends to fill in the blank, and the sentence begins as, thanks to this quarantine, I started to make more YouTube videos. Same, I have been able to study nutrition, real estate investing, and working out more. See, this guy's doing really good. He's normally an actor. He's taking this time to actually invest back into himself, into the future, because there will be a future. Thanks to this quarantine, I cleaned the whole house. See? Cleaning the house. It's a good idea. I realized that most of my office meetings can be skipped and summarized in one sentence. Maybe working from home is going to be the new thing in the future. Thanks to this quarantine, I finished writing my first novel and began my second. I don't have to do as much laundry. Oh man. Thanks to this quarantine, I cooked dinner every night for the past 15 days. Bring some food over here, Mac! Thanks to this quarantine, I connected with old friends. So speaking of connecting with old friends, as you guys know, last week I introduced to you guys for the very first time Imagination. And like I said, I wanted to highlight really super talented Asian Americans so that you guys can get a dose of the other side of the cliche of us just being good doctors, nurses, and mathematicians. So this week, I'm super excited to introduce one of my sweet friends. She is a mom, she is a powerhouse, and she's the owner of the #1 washi tape online store in America. Probably all over the world. I'm actually not really sure, so maybe she can tell you guys a little bit more. But I'm so proud to call her my friend. Let's see how she's dealing with this quarantine.
Hey, Yuena.
Hi! How are you dealing with the quarantine?
I'm good. I'm like spending some time with my kids. Well, I was spending some time with my kids, but after the call, we'll be like doing dinner and doing all the things that we normally have to do, so.
What's something you miss now being quarantined?
Probably just going out, like leaving the house more. I mean, I've been taking walks, but just being able to do just regular things like go to the store and not have to worry about getting all like, it feels like I'm getting gowned up. Like,
yeah.
I don't know if you've ever, I've worked in a hospital setting before and you have to like gown up and glove up and do all these things. And that's what it feels like whenever I have to go out. So it's just, I'm just craving normalcy again. It's hard, but at the same time, it's like obviously for the best right now.
So I did like a really quick introduction of you. Can you maybe like say in your own words what you do?
Sure. I'm Irene, and I own a company called SimplyGilded. We do boutique stationery and washi tapes. You do like pins and like necklaces and jewelry and all different types of things.
The first time I saw your stuff, I was like, oh my god, like everything's so pretty, everything's
Very
so
Yuena.
cute, everything's
Yeah.
very beautiful. I wanted to ask, has the quarantine affected your business at all?
Oh, definitely, for sure. Like, I think not only in people's spending habits, but also just in like, you know, being able to operate. Like, luckily we are able to operate on a very like skeleton crew right now. It's hard. It's hard right now for everybody involved.
Your warehouse is all the way in Texas. For those of you guys that don't know, she's actually based in Seattle. So it's like, that's on a whole nother level.
Yeah.
What inspired you to start something like this? Because you used to be like a pharmacist. Can you share a little bit about like what inspired you?
I mean, it's gonna sound a little bit cheesy, to be honest, but like, I was not happy. Like, I had always done the pharmacy thing because my dad he actually told me before, he's like, I envision you being a pharmacist ever since I was like in 5th grade. And so I had always wanted to make my dad happy and my parents proud. And so I went ahead and I did that. And it was just never me. I never felt fully aligned with it. I never felt really happy. And it started to wear on me, I think, at the 7-year mark in. After practicing for 7 years, I kind of was just not happy. And it was physically manifesting in my body. It started out as a hobby, like a lot of these things too, like a side passion project. It was just something I could do to refocus my energy. And I never imagined that it would turn into what it is now. And it was really neat to see it grow. I had always been an artist and a creative, never really a scientist. After I got a taste of what it could be like, I didn't want to go back. And luckily I didn't have to, because it did take off after, I mean, not immediately. It was an overnight thing. But it was at least, I want to say 2 or 3 years, then I was finally like, I can finally let go.
I feel like there's so many people that need to hear your story, because as big as you are, they probably think like, oh, she's always been successful, but that's not the case. It's literally like, you know, lots of sleepless nights and like lots of hard work and a lot of trial and error, which, you know, comes with starting up your own business. But thank you so much for sharing your story. Just to give you guys some more perspective of just how amazing Irene is, we went to this convention. It's called Go Wild, and it's basically a planning convention. This had over 1,000 people that went, and it was probably 98% all women, and I kid you not, people were lining up for her like longer than any line I have ever even seen for like Jordans. It was crazy. I was so amazed. I was like, wow, what kind of drug are you giving them, Irene? I'm kidding. Just washi tape. But people were lining up for her. People couldn't, like, some people cried. I feel like one of the main reasons why people love you so much is because you're so easy to talk to. Like, everyone like looks forward to like your stories and whatever washi tape or whatever cute design and whatever juniper design you have coming out. I feel like people relate to it because you pull it from like nature, you know, like things that we love and adore on a daily basis. First off, thank you so much for even being on here.
Of course.
And
no, I would. I love you.
No, I love you. Simply team. And then I actually have like a fun question is, what was your first job?
First job? Okay,
first job.
My dad used to pay me 50 cents an hour to give him like little, we called it the dup. Like, we had these little like massage, like, I don't know, what do you call them? They look like xylophone thingies.
Oh, okay.
But my dad was like, if you like pound my back for like an hour, I'll give you 50 cents. So that was like my very first job. But like, actually, like real world job, I worked at the Limited 2 when it was called the Limited 2. I think I lasted 2 weeks.
Wow. Before you got fired?
No. Before it's like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So
Retail's
like,
hard.
Yeah. It's hard. It was hard. I think I just found out about the real world really quickly.
So fill in the blank for me. Thanks to the quarantine,
Oh gosh, I'm spending like, I guess, you know, more quality time with the kids. I have 2 young kids right now, and so we are doing the whole homeschooling. Like, our district hasn't come out with an actual set plan, so it's been kind of up to us. Yeah, so on the fly. But it has been really fun. Like, we've been learning together. I've been teaching them things that I don't think they normally might get from school. Like they're doing home economics. We're doing more art. We're doing like, you know, I'm teaching them a little bit about current events in the real world, and it's just been really nice. We've been playing a lot.
Just to flip the switch, let's see if you can come up with something, but sarcastically, thanks to the quarantine,
Thanks to the quarantine, I don't know, like I'm actually taking better care of myself. I think like my nails are done. Like I'm actually doing my skincare. Like I have all these skincare products that I've never had time to do because I'm so busy normally. But it's just everything has just slowed down a little bit.
Yeah.
So I've spent more time like taking care of my skin, like making sure that I'm eating enough like fruit and drinking enough water and like having a good like sit down meal. It's kind of nice. Yeah.
All right. So thank you so much for being a part of this. And before you go, Irene from Simply Gilded has been very kind enough to give us $50 credit in her shop, so you guys can get a dose of what Simply Gilded is all about, and you can bring some joy into your house or your life or your planner.
I mean, I feel like everybody is so connected to their child self, right? So like, or not as right now, but needs to reconnect, because I feel like a lot of your passions and your purpose and all this like comes from childhood. And for me, I always collected stickers, obsessed with stickers, had a sticker book, a whole collection. And I'm literally doing this now as an adult. And it is wonderful. And there are plenty of adults out there as well who have sticker books, who are like planning and playing with stickers. And it's an excuse to play with stickers as an adult, but they're adult stickers. They are not like, you know, the cute little Lisa Frank stickers that we had before. So this is like an example of an adult sticker book. So this is a pretty like adult sticker book. And inside you have like stickers. Like these are adult stickers that you can use like in a planner, so they're actually functional, but they also can be super cute. Like I have here's some One Time in a Million and Once More with Love, and it's just like it's a sticker book, but it's like cute, and you don't have to feel ashamed or anything. You can just be in this love of your whatever your childhood like obsessions were.
That's it. Thank you so much, Irene, for being on the show today.
You're so welcome.
So for this week's giveaway, Irene was actually really kind enough to give us not just one winner, but two winners to have $50 credit in her shop. So we're gonna have two winners and two different ways of winning. Number one, in order to qualify on YouTube, you have to be subscribed to this channel. Number two, you have to give this video a thumbs up. And number three, please put in the comments down below by filling out the sentence, "Thanks to the quarantine, I would love to hear what you guys been doing during this quarantine, because we need to focus on the positives, you know?" And the second way of winning is on Instagram. Number one, you have to follow Irene on Simply Gilded. And number two, you have to follow me on Simply You. And number three, on each of our posts, you have to put in the stars and the moon and write what you're thankful for. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up, and please put in the comments down below if you guys are enjoying this quarantine time with Yuena, as well as if you guys are enjoying these imagination guest stars that I've been having. I hope you guys are safe wherever you are. Stay safe, stay healthy, wash your hands, don't touch your face. Physical distance yourself from other people as much as you can if you have the luxury of doing it. I love you guys so much. Bye. This is my blood pumping. This is my exercise. Yeah. So I just hugged my camera. Social distancing at its finest.